Hey, Red. We're not gonna get away with this, are we?
Hi everyone, and welcome to Zeroc Media. In this video, we'll be discussing Transistor, a title made by Supergiant Games.
Yikes.
These developers have made nothing but great games, and this is no exception. You play as Red, who's thrust into a rather unfortunate and difficult situation. The plot and characters are rather mysterious for a while. It takes a little bit of time to figure out what's going on.
Let's go.
The story becomes highly engaging, and the ending is incredible. The game is also only about 8 hours long, and I think it was the perfect length.
Block party up ahead.
Stick around to the end and hear what my daughter has to say about Transistor. This is an isometric or top-down RPG. It has strategy elements too, in that you have the ability to pause combat and queue up actions. While you're in your turn, everything else is frozen except for you, and you have as much time as you need to plan out your attack. The enemies don't have this ability, so in exchange, after you've finished your turn, there's a recharge period where you can't really do much of anything. There's a couple of exceptions, but for the most part, you can't activate any abilities during this recharge period. This creates an interesting risk and reward situation. You have the ability to use your turn and potentially destroy several enemies, but then you're fairly vulnerable. If you choose not to use your turn, the enemies usually wind up having the advantage, because they, in real time, are more dangerous generally than you. Your abilities take time to activate, and it can be easy to get overwhelmed with multiple enemies attacking you all at once. I've experienced other games that have a pause combat feature so that you can evaluate and even activate an ability, queue up, but I've never seen it done quite like this. I think this is a unique and pretty interesting take on the RPG/strategy genre. As you complete fights, you get experience and level up in normal RPG fashion. This also unlocks abilities, and abilities are handled in an interesting way. Every ability can be used in an active slot, and then you can use it actively in combat, and they all have very different effects, interesting effects. Some damage over time, some create vulnerabilities in the enemy so that other abilities deal more damage, and other things like that. You also have upgrade slots. So say you have an ability already equipped in your active slot, you can then use any other ability to upgrade that particular active ability. This gives it additional effects, such as damage over time, increasing its blast radius, causing you to go invisible for a while after using the ability, and many other variations. There's a large potential for combinations, and there's also a passive slot, which is relatively self-explanatory. It'll give you increased health, or automatically damaging the enemy when you get hit, and other things. Another section of the character loadout screen is called limiters. Say you think the game is too easy, or you're just looking for an additional challenge. These can be activated once unlocked, and it gives you various handicaps, like making enemies respawn faster, or they do twice as much damage, and in exchange you get more experience. As you use abilities and limiters, you unlock biographies on each of them. These really help to flesh out the world and the characters. You can get a better sense of what it's like to live in this place, what these characters' motivations were, and a lot more details about the city of Cloudbank, which is where the game takes place. Speaking of Cloudbank, what is it like to traverse this world? For one, it has a beautiful art style. Supergiant Games, as usual, knocked it out of the park with the art direction. It has an interesting 60s futuristic vibe, sort of Art Deco, and it really has a unique feel and look. Animations are smooth and nice, everything looks clean, and you explore the world in a relatively linear and straightforward fashion. There are a few secondary paths and things to explore and find, but generally you're relatively straightforward on the path. There's also not a lot of collectibles or things to find in the world. You're not going to go around a corner and find a chest like you'd expect in a lot of other RPGs. But what you do get in this game is incredible music and great narration and voice acting. The music in this game is top notch. There's a lot of different great tracks, many of them atmospheric, but some of them really hit home. Music is even important in the plot, as it's integral to Red's character. There's not many different characters that have voice acting, but the ones that do are excellent. Particularly the narrator, we'll call him. There's a lot of different lines, very heartwarming lines, detailed, tells you a lot about the characters. And as you explore the world, they put a shocking amount of contextual dialogue and responses in. Say you're doing something funny, or you're going somewhere that maybe is off the beaten path. You might get a funny bit of dialogue. Like, well, why are you doing that? It helps give you the sense of being immersed and a part of what's going on screen. There's this area you unlock relatively early called the back door. It's effectively a hub area that you can return to throughout the game. Periodically, you unlock new challenge rooms. Some of them are defeat the enemies in a certain amount of time, or beat various waves of enemies using limited abilities. As you complete these challenges, you gain XP and the ability to listen to additional music tracks in the hub area.
My name is Leah, and this is my dad's channel. There is a sword in this game, and it is really cool because its name is Transistor. The main character is Red, and I think she's so cool because she has Transistor and he has lots of powers and she's great at singing. And I like to sing along with her songs a lot. And Transistor has a power to make dog friends to fight along with us. And this is the end of my part. Goodbye.
So would I recommend you play Transistor? It's a pretty easy yes. If you're remotely interested in RPGs, turn-based combat, real-time combat, top-down games, there's a lot here. The story is great, the characters are great, the combat is interesting, if a bit quirky at first, but I think it's worth trying. I also think the length was ideal. If it was much longer, I think it would have overstayed its welcome. If it was much shorter, I think it would have felt rushed, like maybe incomplete. This was the perfect length. You got to explore a lot of Cloudbank, got to meet a lot of characters, indirectly you could say, and it was a fun and engaging time. So I recommend it. It's available on most platforms. Let me know what you think of the game, video, or anything else down in the comments. I appreciate the feedback. Thank you for watching.
High rise. Don't know what came over me out there. It was like... Well, anyway, whatever it was, it's past. Feels like I'm me again, more or less.